Hi, my name is Eric Owens. I'm the Superintendent of Recreation for 12 Hills Park and Recreation District, and I'm also the Vice President for Beaverton Together. Today we're going to talk to some teens in our community about drug use. We found that over the years that the best way to find out what's going on in their world and why they may be using is just to ask them. So that's what we're going to do today.
Well, mostly what I've heard is because it's cool, or I guess most people just because it's stress relief. I don't know, because you want to fit in.
Probably because of stress and going through a hard time with school, or they just think it's cool to do it. Mostly probably because the parents are not really caring about them.
Some people do it just because they think it's cool, and some people do it from family problems or schoolwork, or just because they're stressed.
I think teenagers use drugs because they feel pressured to do it. They think that, oh, just because my friends are doing it, I should do it too. And also because they just need somewhere to get away, basically. Because drugs take you into this different world that only they understand.
Okay.
Because I think it would be peer pressure it's peer pressure and your own decision too. Because it's not like they're going to point a gun at you and tell you to do it.
Right.
Because you just want to fit in.
The case of people that I know, they use it because they're stressed. Either their parents are getting divorced, their parents are fighting, they fight a lot with their parents because of the grades and stuff like that. Some of it's pressure, and some of it's just like to look cool with others. Like it's a new thing. Because many of the parties that I go to, sometimes, the thing is like, we're going to get wasted. That's what they go to.
That's the goal.
That's the goal of the thing.
Yeah.
They want to get drunk and whatever. Because it's a new thing. If you get drunk, you're cool. If you're there, if you're done, you don't drink anything, you're not. So basically, what you have to do is either go to a party, drink, or have a party in your house and drink. And that's a new thing that is going on right now. Drugs are not being used so far as I know in my school. They're not being used a lot. There used to be a lot of people that used to use drugs, like many of the friends that I had. But now the thing is that they drink alcohol.
So the drugs aren't as big a deal.
Yeah.
It's mostly the alcohol that you see.
Yeah, because basically you don't get as bad as Spanish if you drink alcohol than drugs. If you use drugs, you get like in a lot of trouble. But alcohol, you just get a DOI or whatever. But it's not a big of a problem.
Legally,
yeah.
Okay, great.
And basically, like many people just get away with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, from personal experience, I know like within my group of friends, a lot of kids are really stressed out in their life. Maybe it's through school or family problems or whatever the case may be. There's so much stress, and they typically use the drugs as like an escape from their reality. I mean, like at that point, they're using it so they don't have to think about whatever is happening at the certain point in time. And or in some cases, I know a lot of kids are just experimenting with drugs because it's high school. They don't think they're going to get caught with anything.
Sure.
And they're just like, hey, why not have a drinking party at my place? We'll play beer pong or some other drinking game or go smoke weed outside.
I think they use it to get attention because a lot of people that go to my high school, they do it because they think they're cool, and then also in other cases they do it because they're depressed and they're trying not to think about something, and so they think that drugs are like the answer.
You make it sound like it's fairly easy or it's readily available, any of these different ones that we've talked about. Is it pretty easy to get at your school?
Yeah, definitely a lot of it. Peer pressure is really big, and I think stress as well. I think those are the two like big ones.
Okay.
In my school, it's usually people just smoking weed and drinking alcohol, basically. That's it.
And how hard is it to get?
Not that hard. It's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Just need to know somebody and they know somebody kind of thing? Okay. Same with alcohol, or is that different?
With everything.
Is there everything? Okay.
Yeah, no matter whichever drug, doesn't matter.
I think that students use alcohol and drugs because they want to fit in, be cool, and all that other stuff. They just want people to think that they want to be part of the group, and that they're probably like don't have that many friends, and people are peer pressuring them to try drugs and alcohol. And if they do that, they'll be fit in, but they're not really fit in. They're just doing it, and they can get cancer and all other kinds of stuff.
What do you know or hear out there is the drugs of choice, or is it alcohol? What are people using for the most part at your school?
Well, I've heard a lot about hookah, and my stepbrother, he's done it before, and I've heard about, like, right now there's like a really bad thing at our high school about pot and about something to do with, I think, oxycodone.
Oxycodone?
Yeah,
So a prescription drug.
Yeah.
I know a lot of kids are drinking alcohol. Just, that's the typical thing you're going to find at a party or at someone's house. I know a couple of kids, they have, I don't know if you've heard of this, the hookah bars.
Yeah.
They'll have, like, I know some kids either go find one or they have a machine in their house.
And basically the number one thing that they use is alcohol. One thing is easy to get, and you just ask a parent or brother or whatever, and they just get it. They just do a party where parents are not home, start drinking, and then they just bring out the drugs. And it's not really hard to get drugs either, because you could just, as many friends, even in school, sometimes they sell drugs. We're like from different cultures. Like me in Mexico, at my age, we could get alcohol.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. Even like little kids, like from 6 to 5 years old, sometimes their parents send them to buy alcohol and they give it to them because there's no law in Mexico. So right here, many of the parents have that idea that if a guy like, let's say my age or younger, asking for alcohol, then they just give it to them because it's mostly because of the culture.
I want to thank everybody for taking the time to come in and join our interviews today and providing information on what goes on in their world. We need to remember that the stress factors for children today are different than they were when we were children. So we need to take that into consideration. Best way to find out, as I said earlier, what's going on with them is just to ask them. But we need to remember, we need to listen. If you need more information on Beaverton Together, please go to beavertontogether.org. Thank you very much.